So our next dish is a dessert. It's a dessert.
It's a curveball.
Yeah.
Really? A
Never,
dessert?
never in the history of Chef's Challenge have we had a dessert. So when Eric and his team proposed it, I'm like, okay, you know, it's different, but it also opens up more possibilities for wines. So we can have a little more leeway in our wine selections. And we said, yeah, let's go with it. Let's do it. So we have a pistachio, which is well, Eric, you describe it.
Yeah, so this dish was created by Orlando Soto, like I mentioned previously, in collaboration with me. So he was doing it and I was eating it. And I love it very much, and I thought it was great. And because I wanted to stay in bed longer today, I thought, why don't send Orlando do the dessert and I can stay in bed and come later to drink with you guys. And that was the inspiration behind it. But this dessert is becoming extremely popular at Le Bernardin because it's delicious, I think. And of course, I'm biased, but I love the pistachio and the pistachio praline and the Grand Marnier that gives a little bit of orange flavor to it. And now I have to try the wines and see what I think about the pairing. But I'm very, very proud of our pastry chef and bravo Orlando, thank you very much.
Jose, no doubt you chose a Spanish wine.
Yeah, I chose a Spanish wine to try to beat you. This wine has a very personal situation in my life for me. Because you see, this is Jorge Ordonez and company. Two of his daughter and son are here with us in the audience. But when I came, yeah, you can clap. But for the ones of you that may not know who Jorge Ordonez is, you know, the family of food, the family of wine, it requires a lot of people to make things happen. You need winemakers, you need the guys working on the vineyards, you need the exporters, you need the guys you need everybody to make it happen. You need the sommeliers, you need the waiters pouring you the wine. Everybody plays a role. Jorge Ordonez is a guy I met when I was a young cook, 22 years old, working in New York as a cook in a restaurant, a Spanish Catalan restaurant on 55th Street between 5th and 6th. And Jorge was one of the first guys knocking on the door of every restaurant, bringing the Spanish wines, to put the Spanish wines in every wine list, in every restaurant. I met that guy when I was a young boy. To this day, we're still friends. And one of the reasons I chose the wine is because that's friendship and to pay an homage, not only to Jorge Ordonez, but to every single person that has been walking the streets of America, bringing wines into every store and every restaurant. That's an homage to all of them. And now going very quickly, I tasted different vintages. Number one, I think this is one of the most beautiful presented dishes ever in the history since I've been coming. So thank you, Eric, and your team. And we tasted 21, 19th, and 18th. And we went for 18 because we thought we needed a little bit more of body. This comes from Malaga. Malaga is one of my most beautiful cities in the world. They make great wine. The Muscat of Alexandria shines there. It's not an oversweet wine. I think I'm gonna be beating Bruce because the way this wine is able to hold the acidity, even being sweet, that pairs so well with this Pistachio Praliné. So I love Suduiraut. During the pandemic, my wife and my children know we opened a lot of this wine because I had a lot of foie gras and I keep cooking with foie gras all day and we keep pairing it with the Suduiraut. But for this dessert, I have no doubt that you will understand that the future of the world is if you really vote for the Jorge Ordonez 2018.
So the Jorge Ordonez Malaga number 2 Victoria, 2018, it rated 91 points. It's $29 for a half bottle, 375 milliliters. I chose the Château Suduiraut Sauternes 2020, which rated 93 points, and it cost about $70. And I thought when I read the ingredients, to me, when you have a dessert with nuts and a little bit of orange, I was thinking it's not terribly sweet. And then with the white chocolate Bavarois, also you get a little bit of fat so the wine needs some acidity. So I thought immediately of Sauternes, and I know Suduiraut is like a classic Sauternes, a bit more modern style perhaps, but has the acidity, both the acidity and the complex flavors of apricot and dried fruits to go with this dish, and with just a little bit hint of orange as well. And there's also from the 2021 vintage, or 2020 vintage rather, there was some botrytis too, which brings good acidity and brings a little bit of spiciness. So that was my choice. And what's interesting to me in researching the wines, first of all, it's incredible the vineyards in Malaga that they make this wine from. And they had a video that was shot by drone, and I mean the kind of work that they have to do on these old bush vines. I mean, some of the vines are more than 100 years old. Is really amazing. But the Malaga has 190 grams per liter residual sugar, and the Sauternes is actually less sweet. It's only 137 grams per liter residual sugar. But what's interesting about the wine is that the Malaga has so much acidity and this lightness and this floral aroma. It seems much less sweet than the Sauternes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, to me, so when you're pairing a dish with, or a wine with dessert, you need to have a wine that has a little bit more sweetness than the dessert. And I know that the Sauternes also has good body, good weight, and richness. So that was my choice.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, you try. You try.
Emeril, you have any comments on the pairings?
I think both wines are delicious. I really do. I'm a little bit leaning more towards Jose's wine. Just the overall structure and the balance of the sweetness of that. That's just my opinion. Come on.
It's not what you think, okay?
You should be paying me off. You're fighting my wine.
He wants it back. He wants it back.
I thought the dessert, I thought the dish itself was spectacular.
But guys, that doesn't mean we have to have 4 desserts next year.
No,
Right?
no, that would blow
Yeah.
Marvin's mind. if you did that.
But Emeril, can you ask Eric to bring a fish dish next year?
He didn't last year either.
Yes, we
Yeah,
did. We did. last year.
because he likes fish so much that he's trying to protect fish. So he doesn't serve fish. When he goes away, I don't get it. He's the master of fish. So we need to ask him next year. He needs to bring fish.
Yes. Please.
I love you too, Jose, very much. For the wine pairing, I have to say that those 2 pairings are amazing, and they go extremely well with the dessert. The dynamic of the dessert has changed a little bit because usually it's chocolate and white chocolate, and it's a mousse inside. That dessert usually it's served very cold. It comes out of the pastry department and is served within 5 minutes to the table. And therefore, the dessert is not as rich and sweet. Because of the big group that we are today, the dessert was out at 9:30. And it changed completely the dynamic. The dessert is much sweeter, much richer, And it's an illusion, of course, it's the same dessert, but to our taste buds, it makes a difference. And therefore, if it would have been at a restaurant, I would have said, Bruce, you are right with your choice. But because we are here today and I'm tasting the dessert right now, I agree with José. And I don't like to agree with José, but I have to agree with José.
Well, Jordi Parronella, my sommelier, made all the work, so kudos to him.
Now, I want to jump in with a couple things. Before I talk about this particular match, I was thinking this morning why I love this event so much. This is exactly what wine is made for, which is food. And
food for wine.
And this is exactly what food is made for, which is wine. And I think one of the great things that a day like this shows is that each one of these wines is like a sauce that goes either in a way that you love more or less with each one of the foods. And each one of the dishes we tried, I thought, did an amazing job of expressing that chef and their restaurant. And I'm just really, really grateful to have this opportunity to do this and to be here with all of you. And the fact that we don't agree 100% on any of these should give everyone in this room the confidence that when you're tasting wine, the only palate that matters is your own. It's really, really important. Now, with that said, let me just talk about this dish. I think it was really interesting what Eric just shared about how the temperature of anything is going to, and also when it was plated, is going to impact how you perceive it. Not only did this dish eat really, really sweetly because of being at room temperature, but something that I loved about it that really came out was the salt in there as well. Yeah. And the salt kind of picked up everything. I found that, while Suduiraut is absolutely one of my favorite Sauternes, and you know, I'm with Jose. Please give me some foie gras anytime with that. It's the best thing on earth. But I think that because of the intense sweetness of the dessert, the Malaga, with the increased acid and less viscosity, I wanted something to kind of quench my thirst with it and be almost as sweet as the dessert itself. And the Malaga did that for me.
Well, that's it. We're out of time.
All right, so who's up for Jose's wine? Wow.
Jorge, this goes for you. I have to pay all of you.
How many vote for my wine for the Château Suduiraut Sauternes?
All right. I don't have enough. I mean, we can bribe, right? I mean, Marvin, bribing
I think it's pretty
okay,
clear,
right?
I think it was pretty clear.
Yeah, but Bruce,
well done, Jose.
We like you. I mean, we
well
really
done.
like you. I mean, Bruce, we like you.
I think you should come back next year, Bruce.
I think.